They both have differences and similarities at the same time. Let me explain you on the similarity first. Firstly, I think both ASEAN and EU have three pillars, generally concerning of the collaboration on economics, socio-cultural, and securities. If we take a look at the purpose of ASEAN and EU, especially in economic collaborations, they both have the same objective. They just want to have a free mobility of goods and service, free mobilities of investment, capital, and skilled labor, and so on and so on. Most of all, I think they want to have a gain or benefit of those kind of activity. Secondly, the process of development on both ASEAN and EU are quite the same. I think most people have already known that ASEAN follow EU footsteps. Actually, if we take a look closer and closer, we can see it step by step. We can see that EU has long development, and EU originated from 6 countries to 27 countries, while ASEAN had enlarged from original only 2 countries to 10 countries. After the long-term development and long-time development, we expect that the major rules and regulations will come out to be quite similar. On my idea, I can see the differences between ASEAN and EU on a couple of things. First, let's take a look at the economic side of ASEAN and EU. ASEAN GDP in 2011 was 2.2 trillion, while EU GDP was 15.8 trillion US dollars. That's a big gap. ASEAN is around 7 times smaller than EU. This indicates what? This indicates something. This indicates the distinction of purchasing power between the two regions. That is, the ASEAN has much less purchasing power than EU. And the other thing is, in terms of negotiation in the world market, ASEAN bargaining power is also much less than EU as well. Secondly, regionalism between EU and ASEAN might be different. It seems that language and culture in the European area are more similar among themselves than in ASEAN region. Then European people may have higher degree of regionalism than ASEAN people. Moreover, the less of regionalism also affects the enforcement of rules and regulation under the ASEAN agreement. Thirdly, it seems that European people share more similar language in their region than ASEAN people in ASEAN area. Moreover, English, French, and Spanish language are major world language. The language is one of the major key factors of creating international business and free flow of goods and service. This is a big advantage for EU. Let me explain a little bit that an Asian financial crisis, a previous problem is the Asian financial crisis in 1997 was actually originated from Thai economic crisis. We call this a Tom Yam Kung crisis. And then it spread over Asian region. During the hard time of this crisis, most of the business lack of its liquidities. Then the bank are not be able to receive the payback loan from their client on time, causing the bankruptcy on both business and financial institutions. This crisis, or Tom Yam Kung crisis, can be solved if ASEAN countries collectively assist Thai by lending money to Thailand, but have to be before the problem spread over the ASEAN region. Give us a long grace period, give us a long-term payback period, and give us enough time to pay back for our recovery. And then the problem will not spread over an ASEAN area. Well, we have learned a lesson from European economic crisis, especially on some countries like Greece, Cyprus, Portugal, and some part maybe Italy as well. We noticed at least two things in here that I would like to explain to you. The first notice is those countries have high figure of public debt caused by using populism policy with the combination of inefficient fiscal policy. For example, they have a high government spending but low government income. This is not a good one. The second notice, those countries are under the situation of high trade deficit, in which they need to lower of its own currency rate. But however, they are unable to do that since their country use strong standard euro currency. It could cause more and more trade deficit. Then what we have learned from EU is, I have already mentioned on first and second notice. Well, what I think, I would say no. Why? Because I think that we have already seen the bad lesson from EU, as I mentioned to you already. So we can avoid the situation, as I have already mentioned it earlier, that if we can do that, we can say no about this. Well, I have a number of policies that we can prepare, and well, we would like to suggest it to you. Actually, just only three policy, major policy. The first is encourage ASEAN countries to learn English and other ASEAN language more and more. The second one, is improve our Thai infrastructure, especially on communication, transportation, and maybe also for the Center of Excellence. The third I would like to suggest is enhance nationalism policy. Some kind like we are Thailand, or we are ASEAN or something. Yeah, this is the whole that I suggest you.